The two ordinary hosts of this podcast are not professionals on parapsychology, extraterrestrials, cryptozoology, nor would they describe themselves as religious or prone to superstition. They'd also like to make it known that this show is not intended for children or those with sensitive sensibilities. Please listen at your own discretion. And remember, the truth is often anecdotal.
Hello, listeners. I am Mr. R.
And I'm Mr. X.
A paranormal dudes.
Reading paranormal stories.
Say, Mr. X, when's the last time you saw yourself?
Like in deep reflection or just a shallow reflection?
Yeah, when's the last time you dug deep and and you engaged with the real Mr. X?
I don't know. I feel like I have an existential crisis at least once a month. Probably more than that. But
I think you mean a real Mr. Existential crisis.
Shut up. But when's the last time you looked yourself in the mirror?
Usually every day. I actually don't know if I haven't been in a bathroom today. Happy Memorial Day. I'm dating the episode. I didn't go to work today, and I have barely left my room.
Nice. I woke up very tired today. I don't know why. Probably because my body's exhausted from the work week. But went and saw a movie, and then I tried to take a nap before we recorded this, and I could not. So I've just been sitting on my couch and letting old episodes of King of the Hill play in the background.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, now we're doing this. And there actually was, funny enough, one of the episodes, I just clicked a random episode on a random season, and the first episode that plays was a Memorial Day episode. So
very
it's
nice.
Pretty fitting. Yeah. But
yeah. Today we're not talking about memorials. We're talking about mirrors.
Yeah, we're talking about self-reflection and taking a good hard look at yourself or whatever else might be in there.
So okay, during your time looking up these stories, you obviously you probably found a few different reoccurring themes or leitmotifs, if you will. Some of those being like, I looked at my reflection and my reflection was wrong. It was doing something different than I was doing, or I looked into a mirror too long and faces started to appear behind me. Or
yeah. That one for sure. So I looked through several different subreddits. I tried to cast a wide net and see what I can get. So a lot of the stories I read were actually pretty different, but kind of uneventful. But I did see a lot of titles that hinted at the idea of like seeing different faces or shapes in the mirror after looking too long into one. And hey, people, your eyes like to play tricks on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes are very limited in what they can do, and your brain tries to fill in a lot of blanks, right? So yeah, mirrors could do some creepy stuff. The reason I pitched this idea was because I think I was going to bed and it was dark, and I clicked off the light, but there was still enough light coming into the room from a different room that, I could see my silhouette or whatnot. And I was like, ooh, wouldn't it be creepy if my silhouette did something else, It didn't, but...
it did not.
It was a good idea for the show, I think. I think we have some good stuff in here. I do have... most of the stories I found were pretty short, and I do have like an honorable little mention. I actually kind of want to start out with it because I don't know why this story was in... in this subreddit to begin with. Oh, right. So this one is from the ghost subreddit. It's posted 2 years ago. It's titled "House Hunting Got In Deep: The Ghost in the Mirror," and it's flared with personal encounter. And the story is literally 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. It says,
not long.
"Went house hunting, and my brother asked me a question. I told him I had no clue but to ask the woman behind him. there was nobody. There was no instance of paranormal, but 45 minutes later, we found a woman in the back room sobbing. Okay.
This first comment is exactly how I feel.
It sounds pretty creepy, right? You know, you're just like, oh, there was no one behind him. Okay. So I'm guessing what he means is he saw someone in a mirror behind him and he said,
right,
ask her, but she wasn't there. And then they found an actual woman in a back room sobbing. First comment just says, and then, to which the OP does respond here as, I slipped out and stayed outside and ate lunch. My brother tried to talk over as he was the listing agent. That has -2 upvotes.
What? I slipped out and stayed outside and ate lunch. My brother tried to talk with her as he was the listing agent.
Mm-hmm. The original commenter continues, you saw a woman crying in a house and you ran off. After you'd had some lunch, you went back. Any sign of her then? Did the woman look otherworldly? To which the OP says, I didn't run away. I just let the situation work out considering all the strangers around. Another commenter here says, was the crying woman a ghost or alive? Why was she crying in an open house? And then the OP, and this is the last comment, the OP says, apparently she lived there, left and came back or something. I had enough weirdness for the day and just waited in the car. They were just showing via group appointments, not an open house. Okay. So not an open house, just a lot of people in there. Why were you there? What the fuck was the OP doing there? Besides the fact that their brother is the listing agent. Also, why is this in the ghost subreddit? That's it. That's all the comments. There's nothing paranormal about this story. Just a little creepy.
The story itself is bad, and it's also very incomplete. The story becomes more complete when you read the comments, which is not how a story works. However, I do want to propose this idea. The brother stayed behind because he saw a ghost in the mirror and, didn't see a ghost in, I guess, not a mirror, but was so professional in his job as a realtor that he thought maybe I could sell this house to a ghost. And this is my opportunity to go to be a closer.
Yeah, could be. We don't know this person. Salesman,
I don't.
Pretty inflated,
Ego?
Yeah, egos. I don't know why I blanked on that word just now. Well, okay. I just wanted to mention that one because I was just like, why is this the first? It was the first story that popped up when I looked up mirror. So
yeah, it's weird.
I was like, okay. But yeah, let's get into some real stories. This one, my first one here, is also from the ghost subreddit because I needed an actual one. It's titled, My Toddlers Are Seeing Things in My Closet and Mirror on My Closet. Posted 6 years ago. It all started when my 20-month-old son came running out of my room, crying, saying it scared me. Okay. First off, I hate when people do the 20 months, but then you'll see here, it would get confusing if they worded it a different way. I followed him to where he was talking about, and he pointed to the closet. Fast forward a month later, I was at the store, and my 2.5-year-old daughter was sitting on my bed. Yeah, so it's pretty close, but it's still like enough of a birth to give birth again, you know?
Yeah. Enough of a birth to give birth again, yes.
We have a broken mirror on one of the closet doors. Why? Just replace it. She began screaming and holding her head down on the bed. My husband finally got her to calm down and speak, and she said, the mirror. When I got home, she was still hysterically crying. I asked her what she saw. She told me something was in there. I asked her, was it a person? She said yes. I said, was it a boy or a girl? She said girl. I said, what did she look like? She said, black hair. A lot of I said, she said. Right? I asked her, was she nice or scaring you? And she said, scaring me. I'm at a loss. I don't even know what to do at this point. Hours later, I asked her if she really saw that girl in the mirror, and she got upset again and said yes. I should mention the previous owner's husband died in the shop located a few yards from our bedroom. Well, it wasn't a man, so I don't think that's relevant. But
right.
yeah.
So I don't know what to say about this. I do like the hours later I asked her if she really saw the girl. That's such a funny, like, y'all are watching like Bluey or something and you pause it and you're like, hey, did you really see a girl earlier? like like something really traumatic happened and you're just pressing it.
Like, hey, you're not being a lying little bitch, are you?
Bitch.
You trying to scare me in my own house? I'll punch you.
I had to punch my kid the other day for scaring me.
My kid says something creepy, so I punched her in the face. That's how parents should react. That's
take notes.
The
everybody.
Official model of paranormal dudes. Punch your creepy kids in the face.
Stay away from pork rinds and punch your kids.
Creepy kids, specifically.
Oh yeah, only if they're creepy. Sorry.
Let's see. The first comment here says, mirrors can be used as portals, especially if somebody's opened it for some ritual. Unless you bought the mirror, I would get rid of it and never buy old mirrors. Nothing good can come from them.
Unless you bought it.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to hone in on that. Why? A lot of the commenters seem to be like, if it's not your mirror, you didn't buy the mirror, just get rid of it. I'm like, it's a broken mirror. Even if you bought it, fucking get rid of it.
Yeah,
dude.
it's broken.
But this never buy old mirrors. It's coming back from our thrifting episode. That was like the advice everybody was giving.
NBOM, as we say on the streets.
Yes. Yeah. What does that mean?
Never buy old mirrors.
NBOM. Okay. All right.
No. Yeah, NBOM. Yeah.
Comment number 2 here says, spirits can get trapped in mirrors when they don't move on and look basically how your daughter described her. Okay.
All
How
right.
do you know that? How do you know what they look like? Do you see them often?
This commenter is actually the daughter.
And then, honestly, I all the comments from this post are on here because there wasn't a lot. Oh. So see, comment number 3 says, that mirror's got to go.
Terrific input.
Comment number 4, do what's best for your kids and get rid of the mirror. And then, of course, comment number 5 says, yeet that mirror out of existence.
Out of existence?
Yeah, how do you do that exactly?
Yeah,
you
show
break a
us
mirror,
how, please?
Shatter the mirror, now you just got a bunch of tiny mirrors, right? Get a bunch of those ladies.
That's so true.
You can like disperse them however you want. That lady's going to be in a bunch of different places now if she's trapped in the mirror.
You've doomed us.
What if the kid just saw themselves and
Yeah,
got
what
scared?
if the kid's butt ugly?
What if the kid's just never seen a mirror before and they're like, oh my God.
Even worse,
that?
They've never seen themselves, right? Like no pictures in the house of the kid. Obviously no mirrors.
Ooh, it's a 2.5-year-old, right? So what if this is just their first memory, right? So they saw themselves and then they're remembering back to having seen themselves and it's scaring them because they're ugly. Fucking ugly ass kids.
In this story, there is mention, no, sorry, not the story. In the comments, there is mention of portals.
Yeah.
An extremely popular subject when it comes to mirrors. Lots of portal talk.
Okay, now this is getting back into our portal episode where we were hoping for like a wormhole, right? That transfers people from one location to another.
Right.
Whereas this is kind of like a gateway between the world of the living and the world of the dead.
Yeah.
Which honestly is kind of boring, in my opinion.
Sure.
If anything, if I want a portal between, our world and their world, I want it to be more like the TV from The Grudge, where she can kind of, or no, The Ring, where she comes out of the TV.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, be something like that. That would be creepy. If I saw a creepy woman in my mirror, right? Oh man, that gets me one time, maybe twice, right? But then I realized they can't fucking do anything, right? So what's to scare me after that? There is a movie, I can't remember. I actually don't know what it's called, but I think it's specifically about like a mirror dimension where your reflection can kill you. I think it works like Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Where whatever happens to you in the mirror happens in real life. I don't know.
This is a movie you're talking about?
Yeah, this is a movie.
Huh.
No, it's literally called Mirrors. And there's
shit.
two of them. When Max, who is recovering from a traumatic accident, takes a job at nighttime security guard, he begins to see visions of a young mysterious woman in the store's mirrors. That's the second one.
Oh.
And I think this is... Yeah, it's definitely the one I'm thinking of because it has Christy Carlson Romano in it from Even Stevens. And I think Cadet Kelly was another one she was in. Let's see what the first one is about. Ben guards a partly destroyed property by night, but begins to see strange images in its impeccable mirrors. After his sister is killed, he is convinced that evil forces are out to get him.
Okay. Why is it that when,
this one has
whenever we
Kiefer
discuss
Sutherland in
mirrors
it.
Or alternate universes, why is it that the other entities on the other side of whatever it is are bad? Why can't they just be
evil?
Really cool or like maybe even nervous?
Or maybe just uglier versions of us, huh? Why can't we feel good when we're looking into a mirror, you know?
Okay. You're onto something there.
Yeah.
You should write a movie called The Uglies.
We'll write a movie about a mirror dimension, right? Where everyone in that dimension is uglier than the people in this dimension. And so they're trying to figure out a way to get out so they can be the attractive ones, right?
Yeah.
It would be titled Us 2.
Okay.
To the movie Us. All right, let's go ahead and take an ad break and then we'll move on to your first story.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let's go on to your first story, which is probably the longest story we have this week.
I was thinking about it during that ad break. What if the sequel to Us was called We? Because
yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
So this your story, it did have a paragraph at the beginning, but all that paragraph was saying was English isn't their first language, and
yeah,
so, it didn't matter. So I just cut that out.
I wasn't going to read it anyway.
If you want to go ahead and dive into it.
Let's go! This, my first story is titled The Reason Why I'm Scared of Mirrors. This story is kind of a longer one for me. I don't normally pick ones that are very long. So it takes a minute to get there, but you'll see. Yeah, so it's posted in r/paranormal as of 7 years ago. Both of my stories are from r/paranormal. I don't know why I did that. It just kind of ended up that way. Okay.
That's fine.
This story is from my brother-in-law. This took place in Mexico in the 90s. My brother-in-law, Uriel, and his family had... Oh, my brother-in-law. Okay, I see. And his family had a house in the corner of the street. On the corner of the street. Is English my first language? What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay, hold on. My brother-in-law, Uriel, and his family had a house on the corner of the street. His parents always worked and never had time to do the house chores or look after Uriel, so they hired a housekeeper/nanny. The nanny was a teenage girl who was around 12 years old. Parentheses. It was acceptable to hire young kids back then in that area. End parentheses. Uriel said that in the beginning, everything was great, and she did all her chores. The house was pretty big, so it was pretty impressive that at her age, she was able to keep up with all the cleaning. The family was content with her work, and the girl was always happy to help. In the house, there was a big staircase that led to a second story. Uriel said that as soon as you got up to the top step, there was a very, very big Victorian mirror, which was recently given to his parents by some acquaintances. The family started noticing that the girl would always glance at the mirror. The glances then escalated, and she began staring at the mirror from afar. From afar, but it's at the top of the stair. Okay, whatever. Soon, she would stare to the point where she would stop doing her chores and just stay there for hours at a time. She stopped speaking to anyone and did nothing else but stare at the mirror. She even stopped eating and sleeping. The family became very concerned and alerted her family. When her family came to pick her up, they couldn't separate the girl from the mirror. She was in a sort of hypnotized state. They took her to the local witch doctor, and the witch doctor said something in there had taken her, that it had left her body behind and nothing could be done. She was in a vegetative state and remained like that for some days. It would all come to an end when Uriel's family ordered to have the mirror stored in the basement. At one point, one of the few people moving it had somehow stepped on the mirror and it broke. It shattered into many pieces. Seconds later, the girl's family called Uriel's family, saying that the girl had begun convulsing, and then she passed away. It was very sad, and the family was devastated. To this day, he still doesn't like talking about this because it scared him so much. And that's the reason I'm scared of mirrors.
Yes, okay. So how'd you hear the story if he doesn't like talking about it, right?
I have a few problems with this story. Aside from it sounding very fake, there's a few things. They hired this 12-year-old girl. She's really good at doing chores. The mirror is at and viewable at the top step of a set of stairs.
Yeah.
It says that she would stop and stare at the mirror for a while from afar. She'd be staring at the mirror from afar. But if it's at the top of the stairs, you'd have to levitate backwards.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what I'm imagining is like an open foyer. So there's probably like a railing that goes around the bottom floor. You know what I'm saying? So she might be on like the opposite side of, what would you even call that? Just like a thin hallway, rooms along the edges, and then it's just open to the floor down below. And she might just be on one side of that staring at this mirror or whatever. My biggest thing is, it says the family came and they couldn't separate the girl from the mirror. What does that mean? Was she like suction cupped to the mirror? She was in a sort of hypnotized state. And then they took her to the local witch doctor, in which, they said all this stuff.
Sure.
This sounds like it might have been a long time ago, right? There seems to be a lot of detail in this that I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't.
Well, if you hire someone to clean your house and they're spending, I need to emphasize this, hours looking at a mirror, they got to go anyway, right? Like they can't, like, you're not getting any cleaning done.
She's also fucking 12. Maybe you find someone who's got like more reach with their arms,
Yeah. And my very last point is, someone, I'm going to glance over this, but it isn't the point that bothers me, is that at one point, one of the few people moving it somehow stepped on the mirror and it broke. It shattered into many pieces. Seconds later, the girl's family calls to say that she'd begun convulsing and that she passed. You mean to tell me that a family whose daughter had been entranced, magically hypnotized by a mirror, had her soul taken away from it, it is now just a shell, began convulsing, and then died, and your first move was to call the people who owned the mirror?
Hey, capitalism. They're technically her employer, right? So they're like, hey, yeah, she's not going to make it in anymore because she's gone.
She's still longer with us. She can't clean your house anymore.
Okay, so two things. There's two possible explanations to that, right? One is that it was a magical phone call because seconds later, they call, it can't be magic because it's seconds later and they call to say that she's already dead. She died, right?
Yeah.
So that had to have happened before the mirror broke, okay? Or they're like, no, we can't have her go back to that fucking house. Those people are crazy, right? Maybe the daughter or maybe this nanny hated this family. And so she pretended to be possessed by a mirror, She's like,
sure.
I gotta get out. She's 12. Your imagination, can go in many different directions when you're young. Like, I don't know, maybe she didn't want to disappoint these people. It is Mexico, and who knows what fucking time period. Maybe this was the only way she could think to get out of this shitty job.
Okay, so let's play with that fiction. She's a 12-year-old girl. I don't know many Mexican 12-year-old girls. I used to know a lot. I used to have a crush on a girl named Rosalia Obeyedo. Anyway,
when he was also a child, listeners. So.
Oh yeah. Oh no, when I was a kid. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh no, when I was living in Texas. Anyway. God damn. Sorry. Anyway, so in order to get out of chores, you have to commit to a bit where you stand still for hours at a time, and then you have to convince a witch doctor to get in on the bit.
Hey, how? Maybe they just never took her to a witch doctor. They could just be like, yeah, we're taking her to the witch doctor. Our own personal witch doctor. You don't know this witch doctor, but yeah, she's gone. Her soul's gone. So we'll let you know if she can get back to work, though.
We'll give you a call.
Yeah, no, she died. Yeah, she's dead. It's like, oh, yeah. Hangs
so imagine
up.
it
Honey,
is fake.
We're gonna have to move because
exactly. Like, what are you staying in the same village for however many years longer?
Oh boy. Okay, let's see what some of these comments have to say.
Okay, yeah, we haven't discussed the comments. That's wild. Comment number 1. Did anyone ask her what the fuck she was seeing in the mirror? The OP does respond to this and says, no, the parents didn't pay too much attention to her until they realized that she'd stopped eating, speaking, and cleaning their home. Uriel was too small to even bother asking. Oh yeah, this is a story of a story, so take a drink.
Yeah. So, okay. This literally just sounds like this job sucked and the girl wanted out. It sounds like she was sold into slavery, honestly.
Oh, shit.
There's no way this 12-year-old was being paid directly. If anything, it was probably some kind of deal made with her parents, right? And so they're like, yeah, you can have our daughter to clean your house and stuff. Just pay us this much, right? And so maybe she was even playing a joke on her parents. And then the ultimate joke was that she died. I don't know.
You're right. That is the ultimate joke.
That's kind of bleak. But
this will show
way
them.
to get out of a shitty job. God.
Yeah. Okay. So the parents didn't notice until she stopped eating, speaking, and cleaning. But if your parents were never home, if Uriel's parents canonically in the story it is explained that they're too busy to ever come home or to even clean their house, hence why they got a cleaner in the first place, it would have taken so long to realize that she had stopped eating or speaking, but they would notice immediately that she stopped cleaning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Uriel. It sounds like he comes from a more affluent family for this area, right? They can hire a nanny. They have a pretty big house. I mean, they're maybe not that rich because they have to hire a 12-year-old, right? But
sure.
Yeah, it sounds like they just sucked, and Uriel was just too small and dumb to actually know what was going on. Maybe the parents just made this story up, right? He's like, hey, whatever happened to that girl?
They absolutely had to have, because if Uriel believes it, it's because he was told. If he's too young to like bother asking, then he was too young to remember it happening.
Yeah. He just sounds more and more fake.
Mm-hmm. So now it's a story of a story of a story. Take another drink. Okay, comment number 2. So you ask brother-in-law where the mirror came from and why it didn't rest of them who had lived with it far longer than the girl. Okay.
I think that meant to say why didn't it affect the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'll say in the story it didn't sound like they'd been living with this mirror for long. He literally says that they get a mirror in the story. Right. So
OP response says, it came from some friends of the family. I don't have all the details on that, but Uriel's family suspects they gave it to them for a reason, but we're never told anything. maybe when I go to my hometown, I'll ask them if I can talk to the girl's family and see if they could tell me more details about it. Hey, folks, hey, hi, do you know me? You don't know me. Okay, years ago, way back, y'all had a daughter, right? Yeah? Mm-hmm. She's no longer with us. That's very sad. What do you know about the mirror?
Yeah, the mirror that possessed her, that you guys had no contact with except for when you went back to take her home. Yeah, what's up with that?
After you called, did the family that owned the mirror tell you that the mirror had just broken? Did you connect the dots that perhaps your daughter died because a mirror broke? Is that something y'all thought about?
This is the part of the horror movie where the main character goes back to their hometown to learn more about this. And one person there just never let it go. They dedicated their whole life to figuring this out and somehow maintained a job and stayed out of a
they
loony
maintained
bin for
a
the
job
whole time.
at the local dump, the trash dump, and they have spent decades collecting pieces of the mirror and rebuilding it.
Yes, and then they'll finally get to see what was in it. Oh.
Yeah, it was Boo from Monsters, Inc. Anyway.
So, okay, the OP only responded to those 2 comments, right? There's a lot more comments. Most of them were literally just like, OP, your English is so good.
It is, okay. Admittedly.
Yeah. And then a ton of people were being like, yeah, I'm also afraid of mirrors, and then sharing their own like uneasiness around old mirrors that either belonged to them or didn't. So, there's the last comment I put on here is just the one I thought was best to end on for the story.
So, comment number 3. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't? Sorry? I'm sorry. What's Will Smith's son's name? Son's name is Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden.
Jaden Smith, did he write this? Did he tweet this?
So this comment just, it was so random among all the other ones that it made me laugh. But I had to click on that commenter's profile to see if they just post weird shit like this all the time. No, it's mostly normal stuff. They're mostly like addicted to Duolingo and like video games. There was one post that they made in regards to a video game where they're like, yo, I want to cuck this guy. Like I want to fuck his wife. Like, how do I do that in the game?
Hey, you're never going to believe this. Go ahead and check the media channel.
Oh my gosh. Okay. How can mirrors be real if eyes aren't real? Jaden. Was he quoting
Jaden actually
Smith?
Did tweet that. Isn't that
when was this?
Fucking crazy.
Oh my god, when was the tweet from? From 2013. When was this post? 6 years ago? No, it was way after. So they must be quoting Jaden.
They have to be. I had to have known that previously. There's no way I guessed that, right?
Yeah, why was that in your brain?
Yeah, why does I like probably memes, probably like inadvertent meme culture like seeped into my brain.
Oh god. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, that's my theory is this girl just wanted to get out of working for these people. So.
Lazy girl no longer wants to work. You heard it here first, folks.
Or actually, because she died. You know what that probably was? Some kind of stroke or brain tumor, honestly. So, as sad as that is, there's probably some like real medical condition that they just ignored for some...
Sure.
Yeah, for some mumbo jumbo.
Because of the witch doctor.
No, because of the fucking mirror or whatever. If you want to go see a witch doctor, go see a witch doctor. But, don't expect to get better, I guess,
I was reacting to the phrase mumbo jumbo.
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess on that note, listen to this ad. Okay, for my second story here is from Glitch in the Matrix. It's been a minute since I've done one from this subreddit. Now I sent this to you in in our chat. But I was looking through several subreddits, and I wanted to see, I was looking through Glitch in the Matrix. There was a few stories in there I could have picked. I picked this one because it was kind of what I was hoping to find. But I was like, you know what? I wonder what those psychos over at r/retcon think about mirrors. And they're simply obsessed with the fact that the Sleeping Beauty, or is it Sleeping Beauty? I think it's Sleeping Beauty. The phrase isn't mirror, mirror on the wall. It's magic mirror on the wall. And they act like this is definitive proof of the Mandela effect, right? Like it was definitely mirror, mirror on the wall because that's what everybody says. Like you can go back decades in media and find instances of people saying mirror, mirror on the wall. Nobody says magic mirror on the wall. But what none of these people take into consideration is the idea that that movie came out in like the 40s, right? Back then, you saw a movie in the theater once and then never again. Home video didn't exist until like the 70s and 80s. So that's decades right there of people misquoting that movie, like retconning that aspect of it. But also like Disney will sue fucking anybody. So you think everybody's going to be like, oh, magic mirror on the wall and risking sued by Disney for using, their super popular phrase or whatever? No. So
no chance.
I don't know. But they literally call it residue. They're like, here's residue from the mirror mirror thing because someone in the Adam West Batman first season says mirror mirror instead of magic mirror. And I'm just like, you guys are literally, you got nothing going on.
Well, I mean, like this is the same thing that happened with Star Wars with Luke.
With the Darth Vader line, right?
Right, Darth Vader's line. At no point does he say, Luke, I am your father. He says, no, I am your father.
I am your father. But everybody says, Luke, I am your father, probably just because he was talking to Luke in that moment. Like
another piece of popular media misquoted that line in reference to Star Wars, a direct reference, and people latched onto that. That movie was Tommy Boy. Chris Farley is speaking into a fan, like one of those desk fans, and he's saying, la, 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 Luke, I am your father. And people latched onto it and believed that was the line. So with this whole Sleeping Beauty thing, it's safe to assume that this Adam West misquote was the reason we do that.
Yeah. And there's probably like a million like properties that have said that over the time. And sure enough, because there's so many examples. When you type in mirror in retcon, that's all that pops up is mirror, mirror. People like residue from mirror, mirror, residuals from mirror, mirror, whatever. And I was just like, oh my God.
Residuals is so funny though.
But this one is from Glitch in the Matrix. Not as crazy as the retcon people, but some of these people are pretty crazy. So this one is titled My Mirror Lagged, posted 3 years ago. Sorry if it's unclear. English is my third language. Oh, impressive.
Whoa.
So I'm trying to my best to fully explain what happened. He says that, and there's 2 more sentences in this story. Today, I was riding in the back seat of a car, and I turned my head to face the window. My eye caught a glimpse of the mirror, and my head was facing straight towards the mirror. But I didn't move my head, at all. It was still facing the window. And the weirdest thing is, then the reflection somehow caught up to speed and my head was facing the window. During the whole time, I didn't blink at all and saw it all happen in real time. A whole story. So when I first read this story, what my brain filled in was he turns his head out of the corner of his eye, notices that his reflection looks weird, so he turns back and then sees his head turn, right? But that's not what happens. What he's saying here is he turns his head, notices from the corner of his eye that the reflection looks weird, and so without turning back towards it, he just fills in the idea that his head finally turns, right?
Right.
Which is a thing. Your brain does that.
The immediate problem I have with this story is look. There's no way to do this. Get on your phone, get on a computer, do something. Look up images of famous celebrities. Right. Go to the Google Images page. Do not look directly at any of the pictures. Look to the left or the right. Keep those images in your peripheral. Right. There is a huge angle, right, of degree where you're not going to be able to tell any one of those people apart. So seeing anything in your peripheral has to be like a movement or a color. Maybe sometimes not even a color. Like you probably can't detect what color some things are because you're not focused on it. So being able to be like, in my peripheral, I saw my face was looking directly at me when my head was facing forward or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I thought I was going to have to go on a rant about how your brain, does that, right? It naturally just like tries to explain things that you're not actually paying attention to. So you don't have to pay attention to it, but they kind of get into that in the comments. So I'll just jump right into the comments. First one here just says, "This is the kind of shit that would terrify me."
But
sure.
Did it?
All right. Comment number 2 here says, "I think this is a brain thing called eye saccades. And they've talked about it here before. Creepy as hell, though." And someone does respond to that. They are a 1% commenter, and they say, "Saccades use existing information, and your brain extrapolates the rest. It doesn't just straight up invent stuff, such as watching your head turn in a mirror. Also, saccades are the actual reason why you can't see your own eyes moving." I don't know what that means. Own eyes moving?
Yeah. So, this is something I've also had to look into. I didn't know the word for it. But whenever you jolt, like whenever you take a glance, like look straight ahead, and then just your eyes, move them directly to the left. The time from you looking straight forward to the time you finally landing on whatever's to your left, your brain shuts off your eyes. Because that movement, if we saw every single movement of what our eyes do, because it's a lot, we would get sick. Like it would cause so much motion sickness.
Yeah.
So we literally have to like shut it off and turn it back on when our eyes are done moving. That's what that's referring to. You can't, not necessarily see, but you don't notice the blur of life between one point and another point that you're focusing on.
Now they do get into this in the third comment here, or where someone says, "You move your head quickly. Your brain can take a moment to catch up and process the information it's receiving. This can create the impression that the reflection in the mirror is lagging behind your actual movements." Now, what the person who responded to my second comment here, that 1%er, doesn't take into account is I think they thought what I thought the first time, is that they turned their head and then turned back to see the reflection doing something different. But he never says he turns his head back. So he's literally,
oh no.
He's literally he's making shit up from the peripheral of his vision, which also hurts, man. Try looking as far to your left as you can, right? Or right, doesn't matter, whatever direction. Try looking as far as you can into your peripheral, and one, it hurts, right? You
like
start to
strain,
your eyes strain, yeah. And two, are you actually seeing anything over there? Like I can maybe see like 45 degrees.
Ow.
Like
I'm like hurting myself doing it.
Yeah, but you can't even see 90 degrees like accurately. So your brain is going to be making shit up. There's also something I would do as a kid all the time. I would try to be like, "Hey, let me see if I can move faster than my reflection," right? And as a kid, sometimes you're like, "Oh, I did it," because your brain is fucking making shit up for you. It's whatever. But this commenter here says, "This can create the impression that the reflection in the mirror is lagging behind your actual movement." Someone commented to that and said, "Is there a source for this information? I've never heard of any science making this claim, nor have I experienced this." And I'm guessing that you just never fucking looked for this. You're not like scrolling science documents like, "I wonder if there's any scientific explanation on what your eyes fucking do," unless you're fucking Mr. R apparently. But
well,
yeah. The original commenter does supply a source. They supply a link. It was kind of boring, good. So I just was like, whatever. But someone else tried to explain to that person wondering if there was more information, to say you have experienced it, because they said they haven't experienced it, right? They say you have experienced it, you just haven't noticed because the brain is really good at filling in missing information. For instance, you don't usually notice that you blink. There should be a microsecond of pure darkness every few seconds, but there isn't because the brain keeps the image steady for you. You don't even see your eyelashes right in front of your eyes. And you also you edit out your nose too, right?
Your nose, yeah.
And how often do you notice? Oh, your own nose. I didn't even see that in the comment. Yeah. I would say I have a pretty big nose. I do notice it a lot of the time. It's not my whole nose, obviously, but I see the little sides of it.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a fourth comment that I just had to include because those were too cynical, too explanatory. So I had to get something interesting in here.
And if there's anything we don't want to do on this show is be cynical.
Yeah, that's our job. I want the commenters
beliefs
to be crazy, right? I want them to see some
that's what we
crazy
need
shit
for the show.
for entertainment, right? And that's what this guy provides. He says, this happened to me when I was 17, except my reflection smiled and I heard a voice in my head.
Here it is.
Fuck. I don't remember what it said, but it wasn't my thought. It scared me so bad I had to sleep in my parents' room.
Fuck.
God, that sounds like schizophrenia. So
Hopefully
you
maybe
got that
go get that
out,
checked because.
Okay. Anyways, let's take another ad break, then we'll move on to the last story. Okay, let's close this out here, Mr. R.
Okay. Let's see. My last story is called "Looked in the Mirror." This episode's about mirrors. What if that was it? Looked in the mirror. Oh, I'm so ugly.
It is pretty short.
Yeah, r/paranormal. As of 6 years ago, it goes like this. I usually do my vocal Wow, I should have done that. I usually do my vocal warm-ups in my basement, and there happens to be a big mirror that my keyboard is in front of.
Oh,
well, what?
That confused me when I first read. I think they mean like a piano keyboard.
Oh,
a keyboard piano. Yeah. Because I was also like,
I also imagined a computer keyboard.
Yeah, I was like, this person's doing vocal. They must be doing a podcast, right? and
they're
on their
keyboards
computer.
in front of them, but instead of a monitor, they have a mirror. And it makes editing very hard.
Yeah, they're only podcasting to themselves. Do you do vocal warm-ups before you record the show?
An auto podcast is so funny. Do I do vocal warm-ups before a podcast?
Yeah, I know you do your little flurries and stuff, but do you do like a full warm-up before we record?
No, unless on the Dirty 22 with Mr. E, if I have a character that has like a pretty challenging voice, then yeah, I'll do warm-ups for that. But hardly ever will I hop into like a phone call, which is just a podcast.
Essentially what this is, yeah. My warm-up used to be a hot cup of coffee, but now I do this before bed, so I can't do that anymore.
So I'm gonna have to get some decaf.
Yeah, I often forget to get water, and I'm thinking about it right now and how parched my throat is. But let's just get through it because I'm not close to anything I can drink.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Vocal warm-ups in front of a mirror that the keyboard happens to be in front of, probably a Casio. While practicing, I stopped and remember leaning up. Oh my God. While practicing, I stopped and remember learning about shadow work and looked in the mirror intensely without saying anything. After a few seconds, it's like my eyes went blurry and I could only see my eyes in the mirror and the gray blur everywhere surrounding my whole face. Oh, and then gray blur everywhere surrounding my whole face. It felt like my face was changing in the mirror. I snapped out of it and saw a face behind me in the mirror. I looked back and it wasn't there. Oh no, wait, and it wasn't there. It looked like an outline of a face with green being the outline. I remember a long time ago, my ex, who was naturally in tune, mentioned something about how mirrors can be scary, something like that. Okay, peek behind the veil here. So, the reason I picked this story is because of the ending.
just that last sentence on
Something about how mirrors can be scary, something like that.
something like that. If you go under the suggest, because it's got the little blue squiggly line, it just suggests scary, comma, something like that, which is how I read it. But I think what they meant to say was can be scary or something like that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Where a normal person's fucking brain would go. Okay. Now, a few things. What the fuck is shadow work?
Well, I was going to type that in, but I think it might be assassinations. No, shadow work. Shadow work is a psychological and spiritual practice aimed at uncovering and integrating the unconsciousness, repressed parts of your personality, collectively known as your, quote, shadow. Coined by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, Jung! Oh my god! Yes, okay, I know this author. It helps you stop projecting your hidden flaws, fears, and even suppressed positive traits onto others, ultimately reducing self-sabotage and fostering wholeness. My bad.
Huh. Wait, why the fuck did that pop into her head when she was about to start playing some music?
That's a good question. Well, I think it came into her head because she was staring at a mirror in dim light.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I already forgot the definition of what you just read. But so does that explain like the mirror aspect of it? Like, are you supposed to stare at yourself? Or like, what the fuck is she doing?
As far as I can tell, no.
And then second thing, right? You're doing this, right? You snap out of your little trance and you see a face behind you. Is your first instinct to look behind you?
I mean, yes. If you watch... If you engage with as much scare prank videos as I do on the internet, people immediately look behind them when they see something in the mirror. But yeah, like it has to be reflex.
I don't know. I mean, not me. I personally, when I see something in the mirror, I focus on it in the mirror. Unless it's like a fucking train coming at me or a T-Rex. Like, there's no reason I should be looking behind me, right? You look at the object in the mirror until you understand what it is, right? Like that's what I would do. I'd be like, is that a face? And I'd stare at it until it was either still a face or not a face. And if it was still a face, I guess then I would turn around and be like, punch that creepy kid behind me. But
you're also not much of a jumpy person.
No.
Like I can't imagine you. This is going to sound weird. I can't imagine scaring you.
No, and I don't really get scared all that often. But no, I'm not really a jumpy person. So, but let's see what some of these commenters have to say.
Okay. Okay, comment number 1. Low light, or is it well-lit room?
Oh, yeah, I guess it is a basement, huh?
Yeah. The OP responds with low medium.
Yeah, this was the top comment on this post. So.
That's wild. Not much to say about that one. Comment number 2. Staring at mirrors can cause psychological effects. It's a real thing. Just Google it.
Yeah, just Google it. Well, okay, I'm going to Google that right now.
Yeah, Google it. Like if you look into a mirror for a long enough time in low light, usually is the stipulation, your brain kind of like fucks with you.
Yeah, so if I type in to Google, does staring at mirrors, it auto-completes with cause hallucinations, make you see faces, make you see things, damage your eyes, what the fuck? Huh. Give you headaches, make you see better, and makes you dizzy. Okay. And then the next suggestion here is streaming mirrors, which I think they mean the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, okay, I Googled it. I didn't click on any of those, but I'm going to trust this guy. Yeah.
Good.
Comment number 3 almost confused me because it starts with OP M dash, as if the OP was the one saying this. But no, it's just the person referring to the OP.
Oh, I see. Like it's like, OP, mirrors can be used as portals. They can, quote, trap entities in them. Would be interesting to know if the mirror you have one What? Would be interesting to know if the mirror you have, one you bought new, or came with the place, or was given to you, etc. Okay. And the OP responds and says, "That's interesting. I remember my ex saying something like that. Saying something about how mirrors can trap entities in them."
That's
mirror,
what she couldn't remember at the end of her story there.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I guess that's what he meant.
My ex saying something like that. Oh, that mirror been there as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember.
Okay, now we haven't gotten
short-term
into
memory.
it. This is the last story, but what difference does it make if you bought it new? Like, is that just means that there's nothing in it? What if somebody fell off of a machine in the factory, died in front of 1,000 mirrors? What, they can't sell those mirrors now?
No, he was number one. The tone in which I said that made me. That's on me. No, I think the whole wanting to know where it came from is like, oh no, that's it. Is did you buy it new? Do you know where it comes from? Do you know the origins of the mirror? Can you see yourself in it when you touch it? Is it like liquid? Mercury. Anyway, stuff like that. Comment number 4. The spirit of death. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how I want to read this.
Yeah.
The spirit of death may be with you. It preys on loners, if you know this. And it doesn't bother you. Oh, wait. But if you know this and it doesn't bother you. But if you know this and it doesn't bother you. ... That's an incomplete. There's nothing there. Other people notice and it makes you. Okay, I have to commit to that, I guess. The spirit of death may be with you, it preys on loners. But if you know this and it doesn't bother you, other people notice and it makes you cooler. Buy some cool sunglasses, perhaps a Trilby hat.
I'm going to be honest. I only included this because it starts with the spirit of death may be with you. And then I noticed death around me is how it ends, and it had 0 upvotes. It's the only reason I included it. I didn't even read the whole comment. That's fucking hilarious.
It continues. Death is usually covered in a smoky milk-colored... but is usually a person or spirit covered in smoke. I'd not bother deceased people and or don't be a burden in people's lives if I noticed death around me.
Okay, hold on. You made
Holy
a SpongeBob
shit.
reference earlier. You have to read that second paragraph differently. Death is usually covered in a smoky milk-colored, but is usually a person or spirit covered in smoke. A smoky kind of smoke that smells like smoke.
That comment actually reminds me of the Jim Carrey movie Cable Guy, where there's a B plot where Ben Stiller plays a set of famous twins that one is being... Yeah.
He's being
and
attacked
there's a phone
by
call.
Asians. They're so Asian.
They were speaking a different language. It sounded like it was Asian. Oh, God. Folks, if you haven't seen Cable Guy, Jim Carrey's Cable Guy, I recommend you watch it. I love that movie so much.
Fuck.
Holy shit, that's funny. I love that line.
Man, I didn't realize how funny that comment was when I saved it for last month.
So that's a good comment to end on. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I know you sent an eBay listing.
I did.
So
It's quite short, so.
Let's see what this is about. It is a mirror. And it's titled Victorian Era Haunted Mirror, $450. Now, okay, this person posted pictures of the mirror, but they didn't do the typical... Okay, I think everybody knows the meme of people trying to sell mirrors on Marketplace. And they're not sure how to take pictures of a mirror. Yeah, there might be a Reddit for it. But Yeah, this person did an okay job. Not get no. Okay, I see a phone in the corner of one of these. I think it's the second one here. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall,
oh no,
pretty good. Pretty good
I
job.
see their hands in a few of these. Okay. All right. What makes this mirror haunted? Let's see what the description has to say. Item description from the seller. Beautifully ornate, large wooden vintage mirror. Some minor frame damage. See images. Assumed haunted. Okay, you're selling it as a haunted fucking mirror. Assumed haunted if you're into that kind of thing. Annoying little bugger of a ghost, but nothing too drastic. Just need to occasionally tell him to get his ass back in the mirror or leave. Purchased from the set of 310 to Yuma, the Russell Crowe and Christian Bale one. Russell Crowe was in that?
Yeah.
Oh, all I remember from that movie is Ben Foster and his kick-ass purple outfit in that movie. But
yeah, that movie made me fall in love with Ben Foster. He could do no wrong as far as his acting skills go.
I don't know. You should watch that Sydney Sweeney movie that he just did.
That what?
There's a movie with Sydney Sweeney where she plays like a famous boxer from like the 80s.
I'm not watching shit with Sydney Sweeney in it.
Yeah, but it's got Ben Foster in it. So
fuck. Shit, you're right. I have to watch it.
But they're guessing that this mirror is from the 1800s because they got it from that set. Could have also just been made to look like it was from the 1800s. It actually doesn't. It just looks like a normal fucking mirror. It doesn't look old at all to me. I mean, old is like maybe it was made in the 80s because it's kind of ugly. But other than that, it
boom, roasted.
Look older than that. It's a 22 by 26 by 4. So, if anybody's interested in spending $400 on a mirror that Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, or Ben Foster could have looked into. There you go.
Do you think one of them are haunting the mirror?
Yeah, it's which one of them isn't doing great right now? It's the ghost of their career.
The ghost of Russell Crowe's career. No, Ben Foster plays the right-hand man to Russell Crowe's villain. Like he's the one they're taking to Yuma to be shipped out to a prison.
To be hanged, right? Yeah. And then Ben Foster's, Okay.
There's a really cool line in that movie where he kills a guy in his sleep with a fork because he was talking shit about Russell Crowe's mom. And Russell Crowe, after like being pulled off of the guy, says, "Even bad men love their mama." And for some reason, I'm like, yeah, they do.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Right. I think that's an episode. We did it.
It's gonna have to do it for this mirror themed episode. Okay, here we go. I would like to say thank you to Dale Spalding and Ender Music for our intro, as well as Sean from OhThatSean.com for our podcast art. But thank you for listening. You're not a mirror person. You can hear us. We don't have to look into an alternate universe for you to get all the information you need from this little podcast. You just pop on some headphones. You go on a drive. Don't drive with headphones. Don't do that. But if you have any suggestions for our spooky subreddits or websites, or even just a story you'd like us to read from, go ahead and drop us those suggestions in the comments, or you could send them directly to us to read on the show at PONDPOD on Reddit.
Yeah. If you're enjoying the show, you can do a few things for us, such as leave a 5-star rating, review, and or comment on whatever platform you listen on. You can also check out some of the other stuff we do, such as Sequel Factory, where we watch a movie, pitch an idea for a sequel that nobody asked for our good friend Jet Kuso. You can catch Mr. R, Mr. E on the Dirty 22 for some D&D fun. And we've been a Paranormal Dudes, ever in need of stories to intrigue, perplex, maybe even frighten. So remember, if you can't explain it, then it's probably death. Covered in a smoky, milk-colored smoke. And until next time, stay tuned and stay out of the mirror dimension.
Don't go.
No good can come from that. Everything's backwards. It's
probably harder to come back.
Yeah. All right, bye, everybody.
Goodbye.